Looking at small groups, there's a few more things that we need to say just to give you the encouragement to start. And really, that's the biggest thing when it comes to small group is you just got to do it. You learn as you do it. You know, there's no perfect education beforehand. You just got to do it and interact with people. If you like people and you can interact with people and get people talking, you'd be an excellent small group leader. Again, we're not looking for teachers. We're looking for people who keep discussion going. And whenever there's a series of questions, there are sometimes personalities who feel like they have to get every question in and they have to finish the program. And really, that's not the point. The point is, if you get stuck on question one, but people are interacting, they're talking, you're actually succeeding. And so your goal is to get people to apply what they're learning, whether it's a book study or a sermon study or a video discussion, whatever it is. You're wanting them to learn and apply it. And so discussion is really important. And I brought some samples for this term. You know, we go by the semester system, a summer session, fall session, and spring session. And there's several reasons for that. One is so that it has a beginning and an end, so that people can actually get out of a small group if they need to, want to, without offending people. So they go for a certain set of time. That same one can start again, but at least it gives people an out. And as a sample, we have a discussion group, we have a fellowship and prayer, we have motorcycle rides, we have healing school, the Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, which is a book and a DVD study, the Prodigal Parent Process. Some people are studying the Constitution from a Christian perspective, prayer, several prayer groups, another discussion group, a book study, a Bible study. And actually, what we do with our sermon on Sunday is someone takes the sermon that's being preached by me or someone else and makes about 5 questions and puts it in the bulletin. So there's scriptures down below. And if you were present, you already know what it's about. But you could even do a group that actually watches the sermon again online. It's accessible and it's free. And then there's 5 questions like, how can we focus more on our spiritual life as we live day by day? Now, what does it mean to be in the world but not of it? And so there are questions pertaining to whatever the sermon was. And again, the point is, what are you interested in? What do you think people around you are interested in? And what can you actually embrace where you can help people become disciples and grow? One of the things, too, that we really like to do is what's called a Discovery Bible Study. There are apps available and all sorts of ways to do this. And all that is you take a portion of Scripture, and it's like 8 to 12 verses or so. Someone reads it. It's just a short story from Scripture. And then you say, who wants to retell that in their own words? And so someone tells it in their own words, and then you ask 3 questions. What does this tell us about God? What does this tell us about people? And what do I need to learn from this personally? And so, again, you're getting interaction. And one of the things that's so important, too, is in a small group, we don't say, Billy Bob, would you like to read? We say, who would like to read? Because, you know, people flash back to high school where people asked them to read and they hated it. So we never put anybody on the spot like that. You know, if you really know somebody well, you might. But, you know, if you're not that acquainted with the group, you just want to say, who wants to read this? Or what about this? Rather than making it an assignment or putting somebody really on the spot. So the point, again, is just to get people interacting. What does it take to get people to interact? Discovery Bible Study, prayer group. You can watch the video. You can watch the sermon again. There's so many things you can do. It might be an activity group. You know, we rode bikes, and then we would have a small group. And we rode motorcycles, and then we just have lunch together. Maybe it's a fellowship group where you're not getting in depth into anything really big, but maybe it's a Bible study where you want to study Revelations. Whatever the interest is, the point is application of the Word. Again, Paul said in Acts 20:20, we call it our 2020 vision. He said, I didn't hold back anything, but taught you publicly and from house to house. And so we need both. It's 2 blades of the scissors. It's 2 wings of the bird. In order to mature, we have to do both. Now, people say, well, I don't know if I want to, you know, be a part of a small group because that person might go crazy and cause a church split or start a church or whatever. You know, don't worry about that. I mean, that's such an unfounded fear. People need to interact. And yeah, there's some unusual personalities out there, but that's okay. I mean, we can handle it. You know, we live in the real world. We know what it's like to interact with people who maybe even don't have right motives or maybe have, you know, goofy thoughts about things. You know what? This type of a group will actually help people like that. If you're a leader, be a leader. If you're the leader of the group, keep the group on track and make sure that you keep it going forward. We believe in you. We trust you. Help us to make disciples by leading a small group. Bless you.